Hey, Jim.
Hi, Scott. You're collecting some stuff back there, huh?
Oh, yes. Oh,
What's
yes.
your favorite? What's your favorite?
Nightmare Before Christmas, actually.
Ah, yeah, that's a great one. That's Mr. Skellington.
There you go.
Pretty great.
Um, Jim, I have to tell you, it is an honor to finally meet you.
Oh,
Your
thank you.
work over the years, like, not only inspired me, but really got me through some dark and difficult times in my life. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all you do.
Oh, I'm glad, man. We all make the difference for each other, so it's like my intention in my work has always been to lift the audience a little bit, whether it's just laughter or it's thoughts that'll stick or you can vibe with. And, that's what I live for.
Yeah, you're just such an incredible person, and your gift of comedy does not go unnoticed to me.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
No problem. So I want to begin this by talking a little bit about being part of a franchise. And obviously, you've been parts of different franchises over the years. Is there something different nowadays about being part of a franchise because of the social media reaction?
Well, it all goes into the mix. It's amazing to see this transparency of feeling. It's not like you have to wait for a test screening or something like that. You just like people are talking everywhere. There's this constant voice, vocal organism that's asserting itself. So and I think in a lot of ways they feel they're part of the creation of whatever happens, and in fact they are. We all create together. This is, I believe there's one soul, and we're all sharing it. And there's one sorrow, and there's one joy, and there's one, sense of wonder, and we all share it, And so I think the internet, the positive side of things, the negative is that it's invited a lot of people on a lower vibration to kind of, I don't know, poison us in certain ways. but it's also allowed really interesting people who have something to say and had no way to say it to join the conversation. So I think it's awesome, man. And I get excited about like fan art and things like that. I saw renderings of Sonic when people were disappointed with the look that I pointed to the filmmakers and I said, this is good stuff, man. Look at this guy's, rendering of Sonic. I think it's the ticket, and I think they took all of that in and added it to the mix. So I'm your Frankenstein monster, man.
Awesome. I wanted to ask you a little bit if you can break down a typical scene, because I know as an actor, you're not really acting alongside anyone in this movie.
Not a lot. I have my good friend Lee Majdoub, but which is gives me some kind of solace. And he's wonderful. But yeah, we didn't have contact with a lot of human beings. It's a lot of plastic maquettes and C-stands with tennis balls on top, and it's kind of, I'm fortunate to have been the type of person that lives with a lot of voices and a lot of characters in his head his whole life. I spent a lot of time in my room talking to myself, and I'm yet to win the argument, but so it's not a giant leap for me to throw them from the inside to the outside and make a little hologram of whatever I'm making up. So it kind of becomes that to me, and there are certain aspects of learning scenes that I are really too left brain for me. That I do, and I have to do them, but they're honestly, like, I like to spend as much time in the multicolored coat that is my right hemisphere, and I love being there. So practical matters sometimes get left behind, or if I have to, if I have to jam a bunch of dialogue into my brain, I've been trying to find ways through time to make that a right brain exercise. Memorization is tedious to me. So, I have, and I'll release it at some point on my Twitter. During Sonic, there was a scene 42, that was a lot of dialogue. It got cut down to about half, but it was a difficult scene to learn. And So what I did was I started, and I do this a lot, I start writing my lines out on a grid, and I'll do it with a large paintbrush on a canvas, and I'll keep writing my lines and writing my lines and writing my lines and saying my lines. And then I'll use a smaller brush and I'll start writing my lines and saying my lines and doing the scene. And then I'll project an image that I've drawn or that I've taken a photo of or something like that. And in this case, it was a self-portrait of me smiling through my work. And then I go in with a finer pen, acrylic pen, and I'll write the lines in formation so that they become an image. They become the subject of the painting. But it's all dialogue, and it's all the words of the scene 42. And by the time I was finished the painting, I knew the scene backwards and forwards.
Wow.
And there's an image, there's a piece of art at the end of it that I go, okay, and I feel good. My right brain feels satiated, by it.
Wow, that's amazing. They're going to kill me if I stay any longer, but thank you so much. I can't wait to do this again. Thank you for everything.
Take care. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Take care.
Okay.